Coming up on today's show, we are breaking down the SEC opponents that Alabama will be facing on an annual basis. Also, a bunch of good news that we're going to talk about that we've really been waiting on here on today's video. Before we get into that, though, if you want Alabama to go down to Athens and beat the Bulldogs, make sure you hit that thumbs up icon for me. The most likes that we have gotten on a single video here in the month of September is 473. I want to crush that on today's show. So if you want Alabama to go down to Athens and beat Georgia, make sure you hit that thumbs up icon. What's going on, Alabama fans? Chris Daughtry here with the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. We officially have the annual opponents that Alabama's going to be playing here for at least the next 4 years anyways. Chris Lowe of On3 did report them this morning, and it's actually kind of funny. The SEC is having a whole hour-long special on ESPN2 and SEC Network coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but Chris Lowe breaking down those opponents and reporting that here this morning, so kind of bursting the bubble there for the SEC. But anyways, teams will be reevaluated every 4 years. So yes, Alabama is going to be playing these three teams on an annual basis, but maybe if you don't like one of the opponents that Alabama is going to be facing, it's okay. In 2030, they're going to reevaluate these teams, and maybe all three teams change, maybe one of these team changes, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Teams will also rotate for the 6 other opponents that Alabama will be playing in the SEC. So the good news about this is, if you go to Alabama or any school in the SEC, if you're there for 4 years, you're going to play every single team in the SEC, home and away. I think that's just a really good thing that the SEC is doing here now that you're going to a 9-game SEC schedule. These are the 3 teams that Alabama will be playing on an annual basis for the next 4 years. You have Auburn, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. Now, we'll talk about Mississippi State and why I think another team probably should have been that third team here in just a second, but I want to hear from you guys. Pick a team that you want to play on an annual basis. LSU's the other team, by the way. I think it should be LSU, but let me know what you guys think. Type L if you think it should be LSU. Type M if you're okay with playing Mississippi State on an annual basis, or maybe there's another team out there that you think Alabama should be playing along with Auburn and Tennessee. Let me know what you guys think down at the pinned comment of today's video. I actually think Alabama playing Mississippi State on an annual basis is probably a good thing. Look, I wanted Alabama to play Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU every single year, mainly because these are the 3 programs that consistently give you good games. They boost your strength of schedule, especially with the SEC going to a 9-game conference schedule. College Football Playoff Committee is supposed to now take strength of schedule more into consideration. Instead of LSU, Alabama's going to be playing Mississippi State on an annual basis for at least the next 4 years. And, look, the Bulldogs have gotten off to a pretty good start here in 2025 under Jeff Lebby, going 4-0 to start the season with a big win over Arizona State in week 2. But, they're about to also get into the meat of their SEC schedule, just like Alabama is. And we're really about to find out what these teams truly are about. So while I think most people probably wanted LSU to be that third team that Alabama plays annually, it might not be the worst thing in the world for it to be Mississippi State. And in 4 years, it is going to be reevaluated, so maybe Mississippi State gets switched out for LSU. But I do think Auburn and Tennessee are going to be permanent. I think that is an absolute must. Coming up next, we are going to break down some really, really good news that the Alabama Crimson Tide have really been waiting on here for the first, 3-4 weeks of the season. We'll get into that good news here in just a second. But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor today. That is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I use Prize Picks for so many different types of sporting events, whether it's professional football, baseball, basketball, college sports, MMA, and so much more. Prize Picks is a ton of fun, and if you guys know ball, you can win real money all season long on Prize Picks. This is what we got cooked up for the Monday night slate of games here. This is the power play, going with Derrick Henry more than just a half a touchdown. Could be rushing, could be receiving. Also, going with Jahmyr Gibbs. This one's Alabama loaded, going with a more than on rushing yards for him at 55.5. And then Tyler Loop going with the more than, only needs a half field goal made tonight. So only needs one field goal. That is the power play. But the good thing about Prize Picks is they also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup is not perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks does not hit. Prize Picks is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 different states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And yes, Prize Picks is also available in the state of Alabama as well. So download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That link is going to be down in the description of today's show. It's also going to be down at the pinned comment of today's show as well. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, so we touched on this a little bit yesterday, kind of wondering if Tim Keenan and Jam Miller were going to be back for this game against the Bulldogs this weekend. Kalen DeBoer and Alabama defensive coordinator Kane Wommack confirming that both of these guys will be in action this weekend, and this is massive news for the Crimson Tide as two of your biggest leaders, including Tim Keenan, who is a team captain on this team, are finally going to make their 2025 debut. This is what Kane Wommack said about Tim Keenan. He said, Tim will be back for the game. He's done a great job. He's been practicing for the last couple of days here, and he has looked pretty good. Credit to him and Jeff Allen and our staff for getting him ready to go. So excited, certainly, to have him back. Just the physicality that he brings, the experience, the block recognition, the ability to get off blocks, and certainly what he does for us, not only in the run game, but I thought he has taken some strides in the pass rush as well from an interior pass rusher. Excited to have him back this week. This is big, big time news for Alabama. Tim Keenan and Jam Miller coming back for this game against Georgia. So if you guys are excited about the return of Jam Miller and Tim Keenan, let me know. Sound off down in the comment section and spam your RTRs down there for me. This is the biggest news that Alabama has gotten so far in the first couple of weeks. Now, I think Tim Keenan is going to bring an unprecedented spark to this Alabama defense this week. Charlie Potter of Bama Online actually has a great article out right now on Tim Keenan and just he went into the leadership aspect of what he has brought to this Alabama team so far this year and kind of how Kalen DeBoer's mentality has shifted a little bit since that Florida State loss. Tim Keenan also kind of started his own motto with this Alabama team this year. If you remember back last year, Malachi Moore was saying, if they ain't wearing crimson, F them. Tim Keenan has kind of changed that up a little bit and saying, if they ain't in the facility, F them. It's kind of their way of blocking out all the outside noise. He talked about the viral moment that he had with Kalen DeBoer before that Louisiana-Monroe game. This is what Tim Keenan actually said about Kalen DeBoer. He said they pretty much tried to come at this man each and every way, about his coaching, about his mentality, about he wears and all this stuff like that. So I was just giving him reassurance, letting him know, like, Coach, I don't care what they say about you. You just point them out. I'm going to go get them. That's how behind Coach Kalen DeBoer I am. He's being less laid back than he usually is and whatnot, but I love it. What he's doing and how he's carrying himself with a little intensity, with a little mug on his face, like, try me. I love that. I am ready to go to war for him. So I know a lot of people, I'm not even going to say myself because I didn't jump off the bandwagon, but I know a lot of people did jump off the bandwagon after that Florida State loss. I want to hear from you guys down inside the comment section. Are you still on this Crimson Tide bandwagon? Let me know what you guys think. Spam your RTRs, spam your Y for yes, or spam your N for no if you've completely jumped off. But I think this Alabama team has, brighter days ahead. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section.